Hello, everyone. Welcome to the ESL Mobile Open. I'm your host, Paul and Varum Toddkill, back for another season. We're here in 2021, and things are bigger and better than ever. Thank you all so much for joining me. And because things are changing up a little bit this season, I figure we need to change up the show a little bit, not just in terms of format. I need a stellar co-host to join me every step of the way. So I am very pleased to welcome the one and only Glitter Explosion to the show, a connoisseur of mobile esports. Welcome to the broadcast.
Ooh, a connoisseur. I like it. Thank you for the title. But Paul, I'm very excited to be here. I mean, obviously, we've worked together in the past on PUBG Mobile, but I'm really excited to dive into some more titles outside of what, we typically work on.
For sure, because I mean, even if you tuned into past seasons, you've experienced some of the different games we have here. I won't be enough to necessarily prepare you for what we have in store this season, because we have new games, new regions, and a lot of new stuff for the program, and I am so stoked to tell you all about it. But if you're just joining us, you're not super familiar with what the ESL Mobile Open is all about. Basically, it's just an opportunity for you to get involved in the world of mobile esports, dip your toe into the competitive waters, and basically just take a shot at competing, because Glitter, for a lot of folks, it's hard to get that start.
Absolutely. It very much so is. I think, people are always questioning where do I go? How do I do it? What do I do? Well, this is your opportunity to do exactly that. Anybody can sign up and anybody can play against some of the best in each of these titles.
And that's what's great about it. We have absolute beginners all the way up to those who are sort of, nipping at the heels of those professional players. So many great opportunities to get involved, and you can compete every single week. In fact, there's a lot going on for the program. So we actually have a format video to break it all down for you. Let's take a look. Welcome to ESL Mobile, the home of mobile esports. ESL Mobile is a global program designed to give you an opportunity to compete in your favorite mobile games, featuring multiple game titles, taking place in 3 regions, and offering 2 levels of competition. There's something here for everyone. ESL Mobile Open is the gateway to competitive play, free to join and open to any resident of our supported regions. This is the best way for you to enjoy the thrill of victory and take your shot at winning cash prizes. Each season of Mobile Open will consist of 2 ladders, and the top competitors from each will qualify for the Mobile Open play-ins. ESL Mobile Challenge is your path to glory. If you are a top competitor in the Mobile Open play-ins, you will earn a spot in the Mobile Challenge season. The top team from each ladder will skip the play-ins and qualify directly for the Mobile Challenge season. This is where you'll have the chance to compete against the best players in your region. At the end of each season, top Mobile Challenge players will compete in the Mobile Challenge Finals to determine a winner and be crowned their region's champion. ESL Mobile is for everyone. This is your opportunity to join a diverse and growing community of players across the world and see just how far you can go. Well, you heard it there. I mean, look, there are so many great opportunities to get involved, and for a lot of folks, it starts right here. Even the folks who are competing at the very top of the leaderboards in some of these respective games like Clash of Clans and PUBG Mobile, they got their start here in the ESL Mobile Open. So it's awesome to see what the next generation of players is going to look like. And Glitter, let's be honest, there's a lot of games and there's a lot of matches going on every single week. So as much as we'd want to cover every single one, unfortunately we can't, but that's what this recap show is all about. We're going to try and cover at least some of the highlights from all these games.
Exactly. We're going to make sure, we take the best moments, maybe just some fun moments here and there to really highlight what happens in every single title. Paul, I also do need to give you a little bit of a compliment because your voiceover work in that package was on point. I just need everybody to recognize how good that was. Okay.
It's 90% the microphone. That's what we're going to go with. But no, I appreciate that. I also appreciate the fact that we get to talk about all these other regions too. Like every other region gets a recap show like this as well, all throughout the day on these Mondays. It's going to be super exciting to break down all of these games. And, obviously you and I, we know mobile gaming. We know esports pretty well, but we're not necessarily experts at each one of these specific game titles. So that's what we brought in some experts. We have awesome correspondents, content creators from these different games who are going to be breaking down the action every single week. And I am really excited to see what they continue to deliver. We have observers going out through the ecosystem, combing through all of these games to bring you the very best action. And it all starts here with a new title, Glitter. It's all about Brawl Stars. So let's take a look at some of the top teams from Brawl Stars this week, because it's the first time for us here for the ESL Mobile Open, and I am stoked.
Oh, baby. All right, so now we're going to be looking at the leaderboard here. We've got STM Esports there at the top by a pretty decent margin here, Paul. And of course, there's going to be some names that we see on the list from other esports orgs across various mobile titles. We recognize Tribe Gaming. We're going to be recognizing a Failing Esports. It's nice to see some of those names up here.
Absolutely. I'm not really surprised at all to see Tribe Gaming up there near the top. They are one of the most prolific mobile esports organizations. They have teams across a myriad of game titles. So yeah, it makes sense. We're going to see them up there near the top. But hey, there's some names on here that I'm not necessarily familiar with. So I'm really excited to see what they can do. And of course, competing with some of these powerhouses is an accomplishment in and of itself. So I'm excited to see what exactly some of our top plays are going to look like. Because look, we obviously, again, this is our first time sort of experiencing this game. I have a little bit of a knowledge of Brawl Stars esports, but these are some new iterations of some of these rosters competing here in North America, and I can't wait to see it. So we actually have Ash Brawl Stars, who's going to be breaking it down. If those of you familiar with the world of YouTube content, Brawl Stars, I should say. Clash of Clans is coming up soon. For Brawl Stars, you definitely know Ash. So let's take a look and see what exactly he broke down for us this week.
What's up, guys? I'm Ash, and today we're going to be covering some of the best competitive games from the ESL Mobile Open. We're going to be going through some of the best games from the first week between some of the best teams in North America. And we're going to go over their strategies, analyze their best plays, as well as learn from them. So let's dive into the first game. First game is going to be between two of the top 2 seeds in the league right now, STMN Esports and Tribe Gaming. Both of these teams running pretty similar comps, where we have Raz going with Mortis and Bobby Piper. Alright, so both teams going to start off with their totems in place to freely charge their Terra, get their Terras ready with their super. And of course, Raz with his Mortis was able to grab the middle star at the start, giving them a 1-0 lead. So Tribe Gaming here has the initiative with the lead. They're going to try to make a push right here. Zulan used his gadget to push him back. Unfortunately though, Bobby got a nice hit, pushing Tribe Gaming here back. And right here, a really nice shot by Bobby to get that hit on Zulan, who's a Terra, and that's going to push them back, allowing OG to come in, use his super, and take Zulan out. But look at Raz coming in with his Mortis, gonna take out the bow, and then Bobby with a really nice reactive shot. Okay, let's look over this play again, how STMN managed to get the lead here. It all started with Bobby right here getting this very nice shot on Terra, forcing her back. It forced her back because she was at very low health, less than half health, allowing OG to push up aggressively and target this Terra, right? Her at half health is not going to be able to 1v1 the enemy Terra. And this allows OG to aggressively push up. And at the same time, another error I'm seeing between Corey and Raz here is that they're grouped up here. And this just allows Bobby and Alec to just continually shoot in this mid area, right? As you can see right here, they're going to just continually shoot this mid area and keep that Mortis low. Whereas if Raz, you know, if he moved towards this direction when he was full health, he could have alleviated some of that pressure and pushed Alec back. Mortis versus Bo, it's a pretty good matchup. That would have allowed his teammates some breathing room, right, to not get trapped here. Now, because of this trap, this allowed OG to make that aggressive play. Bobby with really nice shots, gonna get those kills. Then Raz coming up with a really good kill on Bo. But here, this was an amazing play by Bobby. I was very impressed by this play right here. He got the very nice hit. Now look at this hit from Piper. It went directly through that wall. It required extreme precision. Not only that, it also required extreme timing, because you look, the moment he launched that attack, he had his gadget ready. He activated his gadget immediately for the second shot, which he launched at the exact same time to take Raz out, right? It went through the wall. That curve shot went through the wall. I was just super impressed by that shot by Bobby. Nice reactive shot to take out the Mortis, giving Bobby 5 stars and a 4-star lead for his team. Right now, Zulan wants to get the pull, but he's not going to be able to until Bobby uses his Piper super. And with that kill, that's going to give Zulan 6 stars. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to retreat. And so, STMN Esports in control with a 5-star lead. Okay, now this was another very awesome play that I was super impressed by Bobby. Getting that quick kill on Bo, getting a hit on Terra, and then getting a hit on Mortis. You guys gotta watch this sequence again. Here, look at this. I'm gonna go back right here. We're gonna watch this slowly. He's gonna get the hit on Corey. He's gonna activate his gadget immediately. Get the hit again on Corey, taking him out, right? He's gonna use his super to launch back. And by the time he right here, he's pretty much done, right? You would think, yeah, Bobby's done. He's gonna get pulled by Terra and gonna be taken out by Terra, right? But no, it's not over. This is what really impressed me was right as he was dying, he was still able to launch 2 more shots. So check this out. He got 1 hit on Zulan, and that put Zulan at 50% health, put him down to half health. And then again, right as he's dying, he launched another one, and this was a very, very important shot. He got the hit on Raz, keeping Raz low as well to 1638. So he just put both Zulan and Raz at 1638 and 2400 at less than half health on both brawlers, guys. And that's going to be very, very important because that's going to allow OG and Alec to finish them off. If they were at full health, they could have 1v1 that OG and they could have 1v1 OG, and Raz could have definitely 1v1 the Bow when his Mortis was at full health. So those 2 shots right as Bobby died, those are really big shots, making it easier for his teammates, and also made it easier for Alec and OG to both finish off the Mortis and Terra. They're gonna move back again, give OG his super, and on the left side, Alec's gonna drop his mine. Unfortunately, not gonna be able to stop Zulan from pushing up. And Corey does have his super here. He's gonna place it to trap Bobby and OG. OG's gonna get the kill on Zulan, and then Corey's just gonna get double teamed at the end here, giving STMN a very comfortable lead at the end, 8-star lead, and they should have it in the bag right here with just 6 seconds left. Okay, the next game we're going to be covering is between Aphelion at the top and IX Gaming at the bottom. So right here we have second with Max, Chepo as Spike. As you can see, Chepo has decided to go to the left side because there's a mismatch. We have Squashy running a Barley, and Barley is a very good counter to Spike, being able to comfortably shoot at that Spike over the wall, right? Chepo, however, trying to get some shots off right there, unable to do so on Squashy. Squashy's gonna activate his gadget, heal himself and his teammate, giving his teammate full control. Skywalker with the Nita Bear to push second all the way back, looking really good for Aphelion. And oh, second's gonna die, activate his super, and that's gonna allow Crying Man to just go on the full sprint, running like the wind to the enemy goal. That was amazing. We're gonna have to look back at that. So this is one of the craziest turnarounds I've ever seen in the tournament. Check this out. Sky, Slash, and Squashy. All 3 of their brawlers at full health. And then also Sky has his bear. Second is at about half health. And Chepo at only 1k. And Crying Man, of course, is dead. So you would assume, right? Or we would assume that Aphelion is in a really good position to push the enemy team back and score in this situation, right? But that's not what happened. It all started with Chepo getting his shots. He got a really nice shot on Slash, keeping Slash low, and then another hit on Squashy right there to keep Squashy low as well. Those are 2 critical hits by Chepo. And now second has his super. He's going to activate his super immediately as Crying Man respawns back right here. So Crying Man having immunity and that speed boost to quickly aggressively push forward, and having that awareness, knowing that, hey, look, Squashy and Slash are at very low health, right? I can just go aggro right here, push forward, and just try to take them out and score, right? Having that quick awareness, that ability to just immediately understand the situation and make this play happen, right? It also started with Chepo again finishing off Barley, alleviating some of that pressure, allowing Crying Man to finish off Slash, and keeping that distance from Sky to easily score this goal, right? That was amazing. Now here we go again. This time second at the middle. Crying's gonna drop his super, concealing second's presence. Now second's gonna back it off the wall with the super to score right there. That was such an amazing play. Okay, geez, we have to look over this play again. How did Second manage to do that? Check this out. So he's right here concealed, his presence concealed in the sandstorm. He's about to get his super right there. He's got his super and he's gonna hit it off the wall to score. So let's look back at that play right here. This requires an extreme level of confidence in your skills to pull this off, guys. Like, look at this. He's gonna get his super right about now. So you already know, like, you already know 5 seconds prior to making that play, he was already thinking about it. He saw this opportunity that he can thread the needle right there to score that goal, right? And he was very close to getting his super. So he already had this planned out, guys. So right now he's gonna get his super right there, and the moment he sees that opening, right, the moment he sees this opening, this gap to score, he's gonna take it. He's not gonna hesitate, and he did it so quickly, so reactively. It's just insane, the level of confidence you have to pull this off. This is what he's gonna do. He's gonna kick it off this wall, guys, so it bounces back on him while he uses his gadget to quickly sprint forward. That way he can immediately grab the ball and then super kick it to score, right? Check this out. Wow, I'm just speechless right now. That was so neat. Well, that was a lot of fun. Those are some amazing games. I can't wait to see what else we have in store until next time. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Now let's go back to the desk with Paul and Glitter. Take it away, guys.
Wow, what a fantastic series of play there. Brawl Stars certainly delivering. Thanks so much to Ash for breaking it all down for us here for this very first week. Glitter, that, like, he busts out of the net and just goes, what was that?
I don't know. I mean, the fact that Cragman was able to run it for the entire length of the map to get the score with the setup from Chepo, I mean, that was crazy to me. So, I mean, kudos.
I just imagine running past the last defender like, bye, and that's not how this is supposed to work. No, it's clutch plays like that. And look, Brawl Stars is always one of these games, the mobile scene, that I have, like, been so keen to work with at some point because it's so visceral. It's fast paced, and you've all but the push and pull, the flow of these 3-on-3 game modes. It's so fun, and the amount of coordination that it requires with your squad. I mean, frankly, it's a perfect title here for the ESL Mobile Open. And of course, you know, being multiple opportunities throughout the week to compete, having the ladder to grind on, plenty of opportunities for players to get involved with that. And of course, speaking of getting involved, you should all be getting involved at home in social media, particularly our social media like Twitter and Instagram, all that kind of stuff. Exclamation point social in the chat is where you can find that. Get involved there. Make sure you do so because you want to stay up to date because there's a lot of cool stuff coming down the pipe and you don't want to miss it. But Glitter, that's only our first game. Can you believe it?
I can't. And we have so much more in store.
I know. Okay, first game is in the books. We're going to head to a short break. When we come back, it's all about Clash of Clans. We'll see you in a few. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the ESL Mobile Open. It's our recap show for week number 1. I'm Verum, joined by Glitter Explosion. One game already in the books, but we're just getting started. Up next, of course, is all about Clash of Clans. So for those old school fans of the Mobile Open, this is a game that you should all be very familiar with. A game that involves a ton of strategy. And of course, going through a lot of changes now. Town Hall 14 is out and live. Glitter, I cannot wait to see what kind of attacks these players are going to bring today.
I am excited to see how they adjust to this new meta, and I'm excited to see which names we actually have up on our leaderboard here for our squads, because I feel like once again, we're going to see some names we might recognize.
Absolutely. I mean, look, all the way up at the top, Lost Meta Gaming, that massive clan family back at it again. Of course, Space Station Gaming, War Agency. I mean, yeah, lots of names. And Swamp Donkeys? I have to cheer. In my swamp, I have to cheer for the Swamp Donkeys. Let's be real. I'll have to get them on the broadcast at some point. I'm just saying.
No, I love the creativity with some of these names here. I mean, and if I'm not mistaken, I mean, you are the veteran here, Paul, but Lost Meta, SSG, and War Agency are all veterans of this program?
Absolutely, they are indeed, along with squads like COC Hog Wars, One Hive. Yeah, definitely a lot of names here that are recognized. But Baby Dragon Drama, the team's killing it with the team names this year. But One Hive, of course, a squad that we're all familiar with. Got actually some Mobile Open champions in here as well. So definitely some squads we got to keep our eyes on. Another, ladder play system here. Multiple opportunities to get involved and play every week. So you see these points, these totals now, Glitter. Those I imagine those will be up above 2,000 plus next week. Easy, no problem.
Oh, I'm excited to see how everything changes after just one more week of play. I'm not going to lie, though. I might have to hitch my cart to the Baby Dragon Drama because, I mean, come on. That name. They might be my horse in the race.
I mean, Baby Dragon, I don't care if you're playing Clash of Clans, the Clash Royale, any of the Clash games. One of the cutest things that they have little plushies of it. And it's so adorable. Look, okay. I'll get carried away here. It's still only day number 1 of the program. Of course, this means I need to introduce our expert analyst correspondent to help break this down. And who better to do it than somebody who's been competing in the Mobile Open since the very beginning? None other than Clash with Eric is here to help break down the action, all the games, a lot of top battles this week in particular. So let's send it to him. Let's take a look.
Hey, thanks, Verum. It's been a wild week here for Clash of Clans. We just had the release of Town Hall 14, and as everybody adjusts to the new meta, some teams are adjusting a little bit faster than others, utilizing the new pets, and it's pretty wild out there. So let's go check out some of the highlights of week 1 of the ESL Mobile Open North America. This first highlight comes from a team that barely needs an introduction. It's Space Station Gaming. Not only one of the top teams in North America, but also one of the top teams in the world. And we have Nick, who came in with this crazy Zap Sui Hero Lalo. We have a centered Town Hall base here, which sometimes can be a little bit scary when you're going with a Lalo attack, because if your kill squad doesn't actually end up taking the Town Hall, then sometimes you can end up with a 1-star, but Nick wasn't scared. He starts in with a little bit of lightning to take out a scatter shot and an expo. He sends in a couple of ice golems with a super wall breaker, and then the log launcher in the corner there. Now this log launcher is going to do some amazing things here when paired with the heroes. So watch what happens here as the king charges his way through the enemy king and then clears out that compartment with the road champion coming up in the top side. Now we do have the new pets here from Town Hall 14, and a lot of these players aren't completely maxed on defense, but as the season progresses, a lot of people will make more and more progress. So definitely keep an eye out for the defensive strength of these bases. But look at this log launcher charging deep into the base here. He even sends in the Grand Warden with the heroes. This is something that is very, very strange. Normally the Grand Warden goes with the Lalo, but when the Yetis come out of the log launcher, the Warden ability protects them and protects the Royal Champion, making so that the Yetis have enough force to take the Town Hall down. Now his queen did split off away from the group there down at the bottom, and she ran into the worst possible CC, fight off the hound with the poison. But look at the Royal Champion, she's still going. She finally goes to ability, and the Grand Warden continues to work with her. She goes all the way across the base. Now he's finally starting the Lalo, and he still has a full Lalo army. But where's the base? There's no base left. This was slaughtered. How do you get that much value out of your heroes? And then to top it all off, the Grand Warden then joins in with the Lalo and follows it on ground while the Royal Champion continues all the way to the base. And I don't think he lost a single balloon. That was insanity. And he absolutely ripped that base to shreds. So this is what Space Station Gaming is capable of. They went 15-13 in this war here against Train Station Gaming. But Space Station Gaming was on a rampage this week. They played more than any other team and climbed their way all the way up to number 2 on the ladder leaderboards. Now, they played against a lot of big name teams along the way, notably Coastal Clash, who was our season 1 and 2 finalists, and they played on stage at DreamHack Dallas and at ESL 1 New York. Now, they ended up with a lot of time fails this war and ultimately lost to Space Station Gaming. They had a 12-15 loss, and Space Station Gaming definitely doesn't time fail. They came with a perfect war, and Rigo Torres showed him how to get it done here. He starts in with the lightning, then a couple blues to snipe off an exterior archer tower. That sets up the pathing for the Royal champion, who gets a little extra tanky from the king working up on the top edge of the base, and that pushes her deep in the base to go after that multi-inferno next to the eagle artillery. Now the queen is working with the yak. Every time the queen attacks over a wall, the yak turns on that wall and starts attacking it as well, giving the queen a lot of access deep into the base here. And apparently you don't need to add a siege machine. You don't need to add the warden to get massive amounts of value here out of your heroes, because watch what he does here. He still has the king ability, still has the queen ability. He has to fight a hound again, and the hound slows the queen down a lot there, but she's got the yak there to provide a little bit of tanking. The yak almost activated the town hall, but then got caught in the tornado trap. The king pops his ability and continues all the way through, taking down the enemy queen before he finally drops. And the queen pops her ability after she deals with all the pups, and then turns around and gets the scatter shot down before she finally drops. And now look what he has left. He swapped out a backup blimp that he had there that he could have sent out the town hall, but he swapped it out to a stone slammer. He always keeps all siege machines on standby, so if the plan changes here in the middle of the attack there, he's ready to adjust, and he did exactly that. This one has a warden. The warden can help out with, but with no scatter shots, there's not really a lot to slow down these balloons very much. He has a Royal champion on defense over there by that top multi-inferno, and a couple of air defenses to work his way through and just provide anchor points for his hounds, just so everything moves smoothly through the base, and he has tanking all the way through. But look how smashed this is. Rigo Torres just blowing another one out of the park here, and Space Station Gaming definitely a team to be watching for as we continue on, and that was kind of expected. I would say out of all the teams that are currently in it, Space Station Gaming is one of the front runners in the competition, and I expect to see them go a really long way. But look at this, he didn't even use his stone slammer. He completely swagged it and did not even deploy it. Are you kidding me? There's only one team that is currently ahead of Space Station Gaming on the leaderboards though, and that is Lost Meta Gaming. But the season is just getting started. There's still so much left to play, and these leaderboards are going to be shifting around a lot. There's still a couple teams that are working their way up the leaderboards, and maybe one of those teams could be yours if you sign up and play today, because it's still open signups and anybody can get involved. So maybe think about there if you want to get into Clash of Clans esports. So here we have Reddit Atlas, which is Hydrogen Gaming, our number 7 on leaderboards, playing against One Hive, our number 12 on leaderboards, playing out of King of King. And this attack right here has definitely impressed me. This P.E.K.K.A. smash with the Super Wizards, and it was strong before. It was strong at Town Hall 13, but I feel like it is insane at Town Hall 14 when you start to add in all the pets. Now, the Warden usually just has the Owl. It's kind of a sacrificial pet at this point, unless you can deploy it somewhere that doesn't have an air defense, but sometimes it can catch a Black Mine. If the healers pull a Black Mine, and the Owl sitting right in front of them, right on the initial drop, then it maybe can save you a balloon there, and protect the healers, and the Owl can't pull the trap, but it can receive the trap, which is kind of interesting. But he has a decent funnel here, and he charges everything through that top corner, and then they have a jump spell to carry him all the way to the base. But watch what happens to the P.E.K.K.A.s here. They kind of get drawn off by the king and end up going a little bit off to the left more than he would have hoped. So he has a little bit of separation of the queen and of the healers. But since he did a warden walk, which goes really, really faster with that level 55 warden, then he was able to get the town hall down, which preserved his ward ability to be used in the middle of the base. And then look how much value he gets here. Only the king, the queen, and the ward and a couple super prisoners stay in the middle. All the P.E.K.K.A.s broke to the outside over on the left, and they took the healers with them, and he still was able to completely wrap around this base and continue moving strongly with the heroes in the middle. The Hogs come out of the siege barracks, and the Royal champion joins them with the Lassie, and they just start mowing down defenses, just taking advantage of the strength of the heroes right now, with the queen still working in the middle. I don't know how she survived as long as she did, but this attack was beautifully set up here. It was a tough spot to warden walk there potentially, but he wasn't scared and he was rewarded with the triple. And Red Atlas, which is Hydrogen Gaming, was able to take the win here on percentage, 13-13, taking down One Hive and knocking One Hive down in those leaderboards just a little bit, knocking them all the way down to the number 12 spot. It's big swings here. Every time you take a loss, you swing pretty far on those leaderboards, and you'll see if you come play, but it's crazy out here. But there we go. Crush that base with the P.E.K.K.A smash. Hydrogen Gaming coming in hot. And the last highlight I wanted to show today was YouTuber versus YouTuber. It's Raze from One Hive going against Lexnos from Space Station Gaming. Now, One Hive ultimately lost this war. It's kind of unfortunate. It wasn't the best week for One Hive, but it was a really, really strong week for Space Station Gaming. Raze came in here with a Queen Charge hybrid. He poisons up the headhunters that get pulled out of the CC and then immediately freezes them into the poison, because even under a poison, they can potentially force the queen to ability there and maybe even kill her through her ability, which is very, very dangerous. It's a very, very powerful CC to stop a queen charge for people who aren't ready for it. But he continues to charge his way through here. That super wall breaker went forward and there wasn't a wall for it to target onto there, but it died to a one-shot from the Grand Warden, and it opened up the walls, giving the queen clean access into the base here. But then she reaches a crossroads here. Where does she go? Does she go up towards the Single Inferno, or does she go down towards the Town Hall? Looks like she breaks down, but that's the beauty of this attack. It's so versatile because there's no specific key target that the queen has to get other than the CC troops. So once those are dealt with, then the hybrid can come in on either side and you can make the proper adjustments and just have it come in from almost anywhere, just as long as the funnel is correct there, where the queen formed half of it, the king and the siege barracks in the bottom corner there forming the other half, and then he super wall breaks to try to push the queen into the scatter shot all the way in the middle of the base. The queen barely doesn't go down there, or at least go to her ability, I should say. But she ends up joining and mixing in with the hybrid. She gets protected by the ward ability for a second. He has a heal active to get everything topped off while they're getting invincible from the ward ability. So they go into the scatter shots here with full health. But the queen's not really helping, and her healers didn't transfer over to the hogs or the miners, so they're still sitting there with the queen as she goes through wall to wall to wall. But that's when he makes the proper adjustments. He sends in the rages to be used on the hogs and the miners. As soon as he sees that the queen isn't going to need them, it's best to not waste them and save them for a queen to go use at the very end of attack, which she may never even arrive in the time to be able to do anything useful. So he ends up using the rage to just speed up the hogs and the miners so that they survive better. And that ultimately makes so that he gets more protection for the Royal Champion, so she can pop her ability right there, takes out the Single Inferno, and then the balloons come in right as the queen breaks the wall. She pops her ability swag at the end. The king survives on the outside over on the right, and he gets out of it with all heroes intact. Raze just crushing through this base, but that is where the highlights are going to end for today. I'm excited to see what these teams could do as the weeks progress here and we get more and more used to the Town Hall 14 meta, and we'll see which team ultimately rises to the top. All right, guys, back to you at the desk.
Wow, already these Clash of Clans games are looking fierce. Town Hall 14. I mean, so many new troops, new units, the way the meta's developed. I mean, still some things that I recognize in there for sure. Some attack strategies I'm relatively familiar with, but just seeing the potency of those new troops at Town Hall 14. I feel bad for everyone playing defense at this point. That's all I have to say.
I mean, they're gonna get through it as time goes on, and then they'll be able to be a little bit stronger. But I mean, Rigatoris too. I don't think it matters if it's Town Hall 13 or 14. I mean, the man is just unstoppable as Lalo.
Yeah, seriously, his air attacks. I mean, you know, from like the seasons and seasons ago, it's like this is the best air attacker in the world. He's still competing, still putting up the work. Now, all these top competitors back again, season over season, continuing to look impressive. And look, it doesn't matter if you've competed for many seasons or if you're just starting things off now. You should get involved too. If you're tuning in, if you say, hey, like, I kind of want to get involved in this. Is it too? It's not too late to do so. Exclamation point, sign up in the chat. You can get involved. The ladders are still running. Got tons of competition going on, and it is absolutely not too late to get involved. Even if it's your first time competing and you're worried about getting up against some of the best players, no. We have all skill levels here in the competition. So do it. Get involved because it's sick. Whether it be this game or any of our other titles, plenty of opportunity to get in on the competition. But that's Clash of Clans in the book. So we're gonna, going for something that's a little bit slower, a little more methodical, just something that's a little more pedal to the metal, Glitter. We have Asphalt coming up next. Yeah, I'm excited. All right, we're
I'm
heading short break.
excited.
I'm excited. Asphalt 9 Legends up next. We'll be back in a few.
I go ready for it. 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 I go ready for it.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the ESL Mobile Open. I'm in Baron, joined by Glitter. And look, day number 1 of our first week of play, the recap, I should say, because week number 1's already in the books. Today is all about trying to highlight the best action from all of our titles. And let's just say already these games have shown us that the competitors have come to play. And we're about to head into Asphalt next. But before we do, if you've tuned into the program in all over the last few years, you've heard me talk about any key, particularly the Good Luck Have Fun pledge. It is something that is particularly near and dear to my heart, but especially for us here at ESL. It is an amazing initiative with an amazing organization, Any Key, all about promoting diversity and inclusion in gaming and esports, which is clear. I think we can all agree is something that, something we should be fighting for.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I mean, I could definitely be a very prime example of that, right? Okay. I love being a woman in gaming, and Any Key, you guys need to jump on this Good Luck Have Fun pledge. It's just the right thing to do. We're just trying to be nice and inclusive and kind to people while we're gaming, okay?
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself. No, it's a fantastic opportunity to show that, hey, you're standing up against toxicity in games. Because let's be honest, when we play games, we want to have a good time. We want to have fun. We don't want to be in a toxic environment. And what's great about this pledge, too, is that you have an awesome badge on Twitch that shows off your involvement with that, which is pretty cool. And actually, it's a crazy thing. It's a few years back now. I got a chance to sit down and talk with some veterans of the esports industry and get their thoughts on the pledge. So let's take a look at that as well.
My name is Jordan Gilbert, aka Nothing.
Hi, my name is Sue Lee. My handle is Smix.
I think it's important for these initiatives to happen. Empathy really, really goes a long way, and it always means so much to us, and I think that's where initiatives like this really help.
I encourage everyone in the community, anytime they see bullying, anytime they see someone getting called names, I encourage you to step up and say something.
Good luck, have fun.
Good luck, have fun.
All right, and you know what's even cooler about this too, Paul, is that we had a goal of 1 million signatures on the Good Luck Have Fun pledge, and we hit it. I actually one of those people that signed that pledge. I know you are too, Paul.
If I was to type in the Twitch chat right now, I'm not, because my multitasking is not that good. You would see that badge right next to the names. Yeah, over 1 million signatures on the pledge. That was the goal, and we ended up hitting it. So that's absolutely fantastic. But you can still sign the pledge. I definitely recommend you go check it out, nekey.org, if you want to find more information about their training, Inclusivity 101, all that cool stuff. Again, great program there. Go check them out. But let's talk about our program here, the ESL Mobile Open. Let's get back to the action here a little bit, and let's put our pedal to the metal, metaphorically, because I mean, it's phones. There's no actual steering. It's fine. Let's talk about Asphalt 9, because this game is sick. This game is so much fun, and every time we get a chance to talk about it on our program, I'm smiling from ear to ear, because this is such a fast-paced, visceral game. As we start things off by taking a look at the iOS leaderboard, there's one thing that really stands out to me here, Glitter, and that's that I don't know any of these players, which is such a cool thing, because it means that new up-and-coming players are making a name for themselves here.
No, we love to see that. Okay, I mean, we talked about it earlier, but the ESL Mobile Open is your opportunity to get your name on the map. Okay, the fact that you don't recognize anyone up here is awesome, because that's just how many more people are participating in this event makes me very, very happy. And obviously, you'll see our leaderboards here for iOS. These are time trials. Obviously, best time is in the lead on the leaderboard. Everybody will be playing with the same car on the same track. So this is where people can really refine their movements, their abilities, and it is an opportunity for some people to maybe try out some new cars they might not have, Paul.
Oh yeah, that's super cool. Yeah, using some of these really top tier supercars. I mean, that's part of what Asphalt is all about. But you can see just how close some of these times are. And as we take a look over at the Android leaderboard, you'll see more of the same really, really close times and maybe some familiar names. I'm talking about, of course, our multiple-time ESL Mobile Open champion, Elite Joe, as well as some of our other finalists like Proud Papa and Luis Six. I mean, these are some absolutely hard-hitting competitors, and I am not surprised in the least to see them up here on the leaderboard, Glitter.
No, I mean, if they're that good, you just kind of have to expect them to come back with a vengeance. And it's only week 1, so I'm excited to see what they can do moving forward throughout the rest of the season, see how this leaderboard changes up, because there might be some surprises in store for our viewers.
Absolutely. I mean, look, what's cool about this is even in the races you're about to see today, there are, from the last time that I casted Asphalt, there are new techniques that the players are bringing out. I've hearkened, I've to speed running a lot when I compare this with Asphalt, because it's all about those frame perfect inputs, trying to maximize your time, and the amount of skill that goes into it is seriously impressive, which means that I need someone who's seriously knowledgeable about the game to help break it down, which is why Firam is back. For those of you who tuned into past seasons, you've seen me casting with him before. So he's actually going to help break down some of these races and exactly see why and what makes these players so good. Let's take a look.
Thanks, Paul. I am so excited to be back for more ESL Mobile Open action. My name is Furum, and I will be your co-host in the North American division for the Asphalt 9 finals this season. It's easy to get involved. Right now, the qualifiers are happening for iOS and Android, so if you would like to have a chance to compete in the final rounds and be casted by Inverum and me, this is the perfect opportunity for you. Every week, I will be creating a recap video such as this one to keep you up to date on everything that has gone on the past week in the qualifiers, as I will be breaking down the runs of some of the top players as they're on their way to perhaps becoming the Mobile Open champion. And hopefully I will be checking out some of your races here on the channel in the coming weeks. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So what you're going to be seeing now is a couple of example races from the previous season where I'm going to be explaining some of the basic techniques in Asphalt 9 so that anyone who may not have played Asphalt 9 before will still be able to enjoy the gameplay. But do do not fear, if you are a seasoned veteran of the game, we have plenty of in-depth analysis coming not too far from now. One of the most prominent features of Asphalt 9 is the nitro system. The yellow or single tap nitro can be used when you are already at a high speed and you want to maintain it. The orange double tap nitro can be used to go up ramps to gain a better airspeed, and the perfect nitro, which is blue, can be used to go around turns without losing too much speed. And the purple shockwave is used to go up ramps to get the best airspeed, but also to gain speed quickest after a turn. There are a couple different types of ramps in this game as well. There are straight ramps, which you can double tap the brake in the game to do what's called a 360 off of, which gives you more nitro but does slow you down a bit. So the more preferred kind of ramp in most cases is a curved ramp, which you will see Elite Joe, the winner of the previous season, take around this corner. This allows you to gain nitro and get airspeed without slowing down a lot. Typically in a given race, players will wait to use their nitro until at least a few seconds after the start, or wait until a ramp where it will allow them to get a better speed up it. And then upon landing from a big jump, players may do what is called a brake nitro trick, where they repeatedly press brake and then fire the nitro to continue to have a better speed upon landing. When it comes to turns and curves, there are basically two ways that you can take them. You can either drift around them, as we see around these 90-degree turns here, but if the curves are not very sharp, oftentimes you can just gather some nitro and go around them without drifting, but being able to keep better speed with that nitro. It is to a player's advantage to be in the air as much as he can, pretty much, to gain the most airspeed, and you can often do this by going from ramp to ramp and keeping even more momentum between them. Another strategy is if you do a 360 before a turn in a fast car, you will retain a better drifting speed around that turn. You will likely not see this much in this current season, as the Cayman is not the fastest car and it does have already a very good drifting speed. And now that we've gone over the basic mechanics of the game and many of the techniques that these players will use to make the fastest times that they possibly can, let's get down to business and check out the run of the winner of the first Android qualifier. His name is Kokudeyu, and he uses a technique called wiggle drifting at the beginning of this race to gain enough nitro for a shockwave to be able to get the best speed on that ramp that he can, and using a couple of carefully timed bumps to stay in the air longer and maintain that airspeed. He then does a short drift around this turn and shockwaves off this ramp, not 360ing, so he doesn't lose a lot of speed, then saves up a bit more nitro by braking and is able to fly off this ramp also with shockwave. He takes the shorter route to the right here and comes up to a tight turn where he's able to drift to get enough nitro again for another shockwave to come into the first ship. Coming into the second ship, he does a couple of 360s to be able to have enough nitro to shockwave straight off this ramp here, allowing him to reach and maintain his top speed up through the second ramp as well. Since he hasn't touched the wall in a while, he gets a perfect run, which gives him more nitro to shockwave into the finish line for a final time of 58.443. Now let's check out the lap from the winner of the first iOS qualifier and see if Middle uses a lot of these same tricks as Kokodeyu, or if he has anything else up his sleeve. So he uses the same wiggle drifting technique at the beginning to gain the shockwave, gets that bump, but then upon landing here gets an even higher bump than Kokodeyu and is able to get even more airspeed through that part. He also goes straight off this ramp with the shockwave, and throughout this section, both players' laps look very similar. I will do an analysis after both of these races, going through all the similarities and differences between them. He also takes the same route heading into the ship, the runs looking almost identical at this point, but he goes a little bit wide to go high on this ramp with the shockwave, allowing him to keep momentum going into the ship and still have enough nitro for this shockwave to keep the momentum up through this ramp as well. He then stays more toward the left to be able to fly off this little hill, gets a perfect run at the perfect time, and shockwaves to victory with a final time of 57.524. Now that we've seen both winning laps, let's take a deeper look and see what exactly made these runs so special. So the first thing I want to look deeper into is the route at the beginning. So you can either go to the right of the ramp and stay down low, or go to the left and go up the ramp and go up high. Both players start drifting back and forth as early as they can to save up nitro. If you are able to save up for a shockwave before the jump and stay in shockwave until you reach your maximum airspeed, which is 33% higher than your maximum speed on the ground, and especially if you can get this jump into the air at the top of the hill, going to the left will be faster in most cars than going to the right. After a lucky extra bounce which gave him some more airtime, Middle gets 2 barrels on this ramp, whereas Kokodyu only gets 1. However, this doesn't really come into play much, as they both have enough nitro for Shockwave after doing a little bit of drifting to go straight off this ramp with their maximum speed. To the right upon landing, there's a little ledge which you can go off of to get some airspeed, which will give you momentum to go up this ramp here with even more speed in the air. And again, Middle gets 2 barrels, whereas Kokodyu only gets 1, but again, it does not seem to affect their performance so far in the race. The route to the right after the jump is faster in most cars, especially slower ones, and if you have a car with a good drifting radius like the Cayman, you will be able to make that turn into the ship without too much speed loss from hitting the wall. Here the race are split, with Kokodyu taking a shorter route toward the inside and Middle taking a longer route, but one that allows him to get more momentum and more speed coming into the ship. This also means he doesn't have to do a second 360 in the ship, which slowed Kokodyu down a bit, but they are finally able to both get to this ramp with their Shockwave and come to the final ramp in the race, with Middle again getting 1 more barrel versus Kokodyu, 3 versus 2 this time. And we see a similar situation as earlier where Kokodyu takes a shorter route, whereas Middle takes a slightly longer route that allows him to get more airspeed. Then they both do a short drift around the last bend to be able to get enough nitro for a Shockwave to reach the finish line with nearly top speed. And this wraps up our analysis of the winners of the first Android and iOS qualifiers. So this has been your recap of the first week of qualifiers for the ESL Mobile Open Asphalt 9 finals. We've seen some amazing runs from 2 of the most skilled players this time around, but there's still a chance for you to get in on all the action. Download Asphalt 9 and try your hand at the qualifiers today, and you may just very well end up in one of these videos yourself. I wish everyone the best of luck in all of the future rounds. Back to you, Paul.
Well, you heard it there. I mean, just download the app, play in the app. It's super simple. Get involved. And what's cool about these time trials, too, Glitters, is like you can try again. So if you are like me and maybe wreck a couple of times, you have a chance to come back and do it again, which is kind of nice.
It definitely is. I mean, and also that side-by-side comparison, so we could see like the tiny micro differences in what they did and break it down. I mean, that's a great way for people to learn. It was wildly interesting just to see in real time the differences that those players. I mean, I don't know. That was just so cool.
I like how we had to slow it down like just a little bit so that we can like fully grasp all the minutia, the nuance. Because again, it's like one player hitting a bump at a slightly different angle to generate a little bit more elevation to get slightly more boost so they can shockwave like half a second sooner. So it's a whole series. And how do they even come up with this routing? Okay, look, I lose my mind here a little. I lose my mind here. I need to bring it back a little because we still have a lot more show to go here. So before we head to our break, I'm going to remind you one more time, !social. Here we go. Twitter is a good one. Yeah, hashtag ESL Mobile over on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Make sure you're following us there. Make sure you're staying up to date with all that good stuff. We have Clash Royale coming up next. The Clash Royale League's own Rich Slayton is going to be breaking it all down. So we'll see you in a few.
Think about
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the ESL Mobile Open. It's a recap for week number 1. I'm Inverum, joined by Glitter Explosion, and we are working through a bunch of these games. We still got a couple more to go. It's all about Clash Royale up next on the plate. And of course, a new title here for us at the ESL Mobile Open. It's a game that I love. It's a game that I have more hours in than I'd like to admit. So I'm very happy to have it here on the broadcast. And what's cool about this game, Glitter, especially as we take a look at the leaderboard, is it's not a team-based game. It's individuals going toe-to-toe.
Yeah, I am a big fan of these individual games as well, because I mean, there's just more pressure on the player, right? I mean, all of their successes, all of their failures are on their own shoulders with nobody else to blame but themselves. And it takes a certain type of player to want to do that.
Absolutely. I mean, again, having those nerves of steel, you got to make sure when you're placing that troop down in that right position that you got your timings down pat. And as we take a look at the leaderboard, some of these players clearly do. Jaco in particular up there at the top of the leaderboard, quite a spread. Even these top 3 players looking absolutely solid. Again, some names that if you're familiar with the sort of amateur, semi-pro Clash Royale scene, you're probably familiar with, but some new names here as well, which is awesome. Once again, following our ladder format, 3 days a week that you can sign up and play, get a bunch of games in. So lots of cool opportunities here. And these top 8 certainly looking to make a name for themselves. And what's cool about Clash Royale, of course, is it's this fun balance between like what decks are in the meta versus like what decks are you comfortable with. You have a special card that's like near and dear to your heart. For me, it might be the Mega Knight. I just love the idea that there's a character that jumps from the sky and just squashes everything, because that's enjoyable visually to look at. Royal Hogs as well, because who doesn't love bacon? Let's be honest. All right. Even if I'm on a diet, we can still have some
the
bacon.
hogs make me laugh. Okay, I'm not gonna lie; those ones make me giggle
every time, every single time. But look, again, we talked about having experts to help break down all the plays. I teased Rich Slayton earlier, of course, a veteran of the Clash Royale scene, one of the commentators for the Clash Royale League. So who better to break down the plays of these up-and-coming rising stars than the man himself? Let's send it over to him to break down this week's plays.
Thanks, Paul and Glitter. I'm Rich Slayton from Clash Royale League, and the ESL Mobile Open is an exciting opportunity to see some players that maybe you already know and some that you've never seen before. And this opening couple of days of competition has been really fun and really fascinating, especially if you do follow the semi-pro scene in North America. Of course, we do have a brand new meta, and the decks so far have been really cool to see. With the first new balance changes in months just happening and a no-ban format, the deck selection so far in ESL Mobile Open has been really, really fun, and nothing more fun than the return of 3 Musketeers. After spending 2 months essentially vaulted. Yes, Supercell does not vault cards, but you can nerf a card into oblivion, and the 3 Musketeers was absolutely gone. But a slight change, a reduction in that deploy time from 2 seconds to 1 second, has made the lovely ladies viable again, but maybe even more surprising is the return of Pump. Elixir Collector has been dead for so long between not being allowed in your starting hand and, of course, the rise of Earthquake, but 3M Pump here, where's the battle ram? Nowhere. This is 3M Pump Elite Barbarians, and yes, E-Barbs, even after an emergency nerf, are still everywhere, they're still strong, and this spammy 3 Musketeers deck, you have the Bandit, you have E-Barbs, you have Pump, you have the 3 Musketeers. This one has been fairly popular overall, not just in ladder, but here in this first week of competition at the ESL Mobile Open. Another deck to watch out for if you're coming into this competition that's been very popular and very devastating in the hands of our better players, that is the Minor Wall Breakers Rocket Ice Wiz NATO control variation. This deck, of course, also having E-Barbs, creates a ton of defensive possibilities with the Tesla, the Ice Wiz, the NATO, and of course, the huge DPS of the E-Barbs on defense. And yes, E-Barbs are a defensive card that can turn into offense, especially if you have Rage, but really, they work so well on this control deck. On the other side of it, you essentially have 3 win conditions, or 2.5, as you would say. Minor, Wall Breakers, and of course the Rocket Cycle. This deck creates great outplay opportunities, great outplay ability, and so far has been a winner for our tournament leader. The meta here has certainly been fascinating in this completely open tournament, not just because you have a brand new meta, but this is completely open, meaning anyone can come in and join. Of course, that means you as well. And some of these open players have not just come in and brought some new looks and some new decks, but performed well with them. Let's take a look at our top 3 so far after the first week of play. Coming in at number 3, a player that I'm personally unfamiliar with, and maybe it's because this player has no listed competitive experience, not a big ladder pusher, that's Ruby. Personal best of 58-57, but Ruby's done that. Yes, has not cracked 6K, but has gotten that high with level 11 cards. So very, very talented play despite not being a ladder pusher. Does have a 12 win in the Classic Challenge and on the Grand Challenges, but for what appears to be a free-to-play player, this is a fairly impressive performance. Ruby has so far gone 6-3 in this competition, with 2 of those 3 losses coming to our current ladder leader. So no shame in those 2 L's, of course. Also a loss to longtime competitive player Latak. So 3 losses, all to very, very good players. And Ruby has done a lot of that competition, a lot of that 6-3, using his one-trick ladder deck, Golem, Loon, Skarmy. Yes, I know, it kind of hurts, it kind of feels gross, but Ruby doing a great job with this one, and doing a great job using double win condition decks overall, or multi-win condition decks. Royal Hog's Balloon as one of the combinations. Also going with, Hog Rider, Sparky, E-Barbs, Royal Giant. Going all over the place here is Ruby so far, really giving you some challenges, and of course also using that 3M pump, not quite Ram, 3M pump deck as well. Ruby's had a varied deck selection, and so far, 6-3, a great start in this ladder. Coming in at number 2 so far in the standings, a player who some people suspect might actually be the mini or the Smurf of a more well-known competitive player, but nothing verified quite yet. That's Zod. Why do some people think that Zod might be a mini? Well, first of all, Zod has a 4-year account that's never broken 5K, but has a 20-win badge and a top 200 finish in the global tournament. So this is certainly an account that someone who has skill has played on, and has the kind of skill in those events that doesn't just come from being a free-to-play ladder player. This really does seem like it's someone's mini, like someone's Smurf, and Zod so far has played very, very well with that, and played pretty much within the meta. Some Goblin Giant Sparky, some minor wall breakers, but also a really, really fun Mortar Triple Spell Wizard deck that Zod's been using that seems to be maybe one of his fun go-tos. So far, Zod looks like a player to keep an eye on, and I'd like to see at some point if we can unmask this Avenger and find out who that really is behind the account. On to our current number 1, our current leader, who is undefeated in matches, 6-0, has dropped a game or 2, but has not dropped a best of 3 yet. That player is Jaco. When I looked at the players who had signed up for this event before it began, Jaco was one of the names who stood out to me as a person who had a good chance of doing very, very well in this competition, because this is one of the names I recognize. Jaco is an experienced competitive player. Started playing competitive back in 2019 with Liga Mexicana, Superliga Imperial, has since gone on to Gems, and of course the premier semi-pro competition, No Tilt League. Jaco's a talented player and has taken that experience and applied it very well here. Like I said, 6-0 so far in competition. And has done a lot of that by playing decks that have good outplay ability. Jaco has not chosen very many 100-0, 80-20 style matchup decks. Most of the decks Jaco has picked have been relatively fast cycle and have had good outplay ability. So when Jaco gets into tough spots, when he falls behind, he's able to make some good choices, take advantage of that experience, and come get the win. Jaco, so far, undefeated in these match plays. That's why he's number 1, and a good shot at continuing that into week number 2. So that's the top 3 so far in our ladder leaderboard. And of course, I say so far because there are many weeks left to compete. And of course, you can compete by going to play.eslgaming.com and signing up. Maybe you could be here as one of our top 3 next week. And maybe you might be what we're doing right now, our game of the week. Let's look at one of the competitions between our number 2 player, Zod, and number 1, Jaco, who went head-to-head multiple times, took some games back and forth. This is a great one. Let's check it out. And here we go. Jaco, bottom of your screen, Zod at the top, number 1 versus number 2. both of them playing Minor Rocket, some version of Minor Rocket Cycle. And of course, you see the opening play. Jaco does not go to the safe spot, one tile off Zod with the defensive Minor. Playing Minors defensively, such a key to high-level Minor gameplay. And the Tesla played a one tile off where it's supposed to be. Maybe Jaco fat fingering a bit, forces out a defensive play he probably didn't intend. And look at that. Immediate aggressive mortar at the bridge, E-Barbs in response, and Zod picks them up. Those are two massive connections, and just like that, Zod with a huge early lead, and now with those stab goblins in response, an elixir lead plus damage lead at this point. The log comes out, extends that, 1955 on that bottom left-hand side remaining for Jaco. Zod, as yet untouched and a good start, goes to the back with the Minor. That's a really early Minor to the back of the tower, and yes, an easy nado to pull it off. Zod playing a bit fast and loose with that one, and getting that King Tower activation probably one cycle earlier than he should have. You want to be under 1500 HP before you give up that Minor to the King Tower and get that activation in play. And look at this, nice counter here by Jaco. Tesla on the mortar, but does give up one mortar shot. Midway point of regulation time, and right now Jaco still in the lead on both damage and elixir, but we'll see if that King Tower activation does come into play. It does reduce the amount of shots a Minor gets, so you see no real concern there out of Jaco on that defense, instead making offensive pressure in the opposite lane, 1447 to 2000, with E-Barbs and Bats going the opposite direction right now from Zod. In the lead, but that lead has been chipped down a little bit, and now more right lane pressure from Jaco, and the high mortar to pick them up. Yes, that mortar is going to connect, but on the right-hand side, so dual lane pressure, but is dual lane damage really what Zod wants in this situation, especially with those E-Barbs able to split lanes if need be. Spears in the back now to pick up that Minor. That's a lot of Minor damage, though, for Jaco. As we go into double elixir time, this lead is beginning to go away. You see the prediction on the Spear Goblins, or on the Stab Goblins, in the back there for Jaco, but the log does take them off, and now pressure opposite direction. And look at this, Jaco goes with the high Tesla, maybe trying to predict mortar pressure in the opposite direction, or at least maybe set up high on the line there, but does not get a mortar. And now early rocket cycle out of Zod, knowing he had the elixir for it. But look at this beautiful nado. Great to pull those Spear Goblins off the board and get a lot of damage, and just like that, the lead has evaporated, less than 200 HP, separating these two at this point. And now again, split spears, that's easy log value on the left-hand side, and now Rocket Cycle with Minor on the right-hand side turns for Jaco to put serious damage in, and now he's in the lead, has taken that 583 to 885. The tables have turned here in sudden death overtime. Ice Golem to pressure on the high right-hand side. Not really sure why Zod is continuing to play this right-hand game. This is not where he wants the game to be played, and look at that nado. Takes the spears off again and gets enough room for a Minor. And a lot of trouble right now is Zod. Goes aggressive with the Minor and mortar left-hand side, but Tesla and Stab Goblins will pick up the mortar. Wall breakers in, nothing to stop those. The mortar was the way. Connection happens. GG, well played, and that is a brilliant game by our leader. That's the kind of gameplay, yes, went for some predictions, and maybe that Tesla wasn't a prediction. Maybe that Tesla was just to set the line there and force the conversation to keep being on the right-hand side. But overall, Jaco played very, very smart, knew he had to force the conversation to the right-hand lane, and eventually took the victory. Not even needing that much of the rocket cycle, it was the excellent Minor wall breakers play. So GG, well played to your overall leader. That's it for our ESL North American Clash Royale competition report. I'm Rich Slayton. Hopefully I'll see you here next week when you register to compete, and maybe you'll be number one on our ladder in week 2.
Wow, fantastic to see that game. I was biting my nails. We got into sudden death overtime. Both towers were starting to get... That's the Clash Royale that I remember. That's for darn sure. And it's crazy to see that already we're having this level of competition in week number 1. It's not an accident that these players are up there at the top of the leaderboard, Glitter. They are looking pretty darn impressive.
They most certainly are. And can we talk for a second about the Zod conspiracy theory? We have conspiracy theories. It is week 1. Is it a Smurf? Who is it? That's probably the big question, Paul.
I have questions. Hopefully we're gonna get some answers, because again, some established names, but if there's a secret pro, who's hiding in their midst, looking
Right.
to, test some strats or something, maybe looking to make a bit of money. Okay, all right, I can get behind this. But I can also get behind you guys getting involved in this, because let's be honest, we need more people involved in this competition, because there's money up for grabs, and there's lots of prestige of being a Mobile Open champion. If you want to get involved, whether it be in Clash Royale or any of our other titles here in North America or any of our regions, ! Sign up in the chat. You will find all the information that you need to get involved. I highly recommend it. It's free for everyone to join. Flexible scheduling. So if you've always thought, okay, maybe I want to play in a tournament, maybe, because literally I've been a competitive player. I know what it's like, and you've obviously, you've interviewed so many competitive players over the year. It's all about taking that first step.
Gotta do it. You just gotta commit.
Absolutely. You heard it here from both of us. Go ! Sign up in the chat. We're going to head to a short break, though. And when we come back, our fifth and final game, it's all about PUBG Mobile. We'll be back in a few.
Gilbert, aka Nothing.
Hi, my name is Sue Lee. My handle is Smix. I think it's important for these initiatives to happen. Empathy really, really goes a long way, and it always means so much to us, and I think that's where initiatives like this really help.
I encourage everyone in the community, anytime they see bullying, anytime they see someone getting called names, I encourage you to step up and say something.
Good luck, have fun.
Good luck, have fun.
Welcome to ESL Mobile, the home of mobile esports. ESL Mobile is a global program designed to give you an opportunity to compete in your favorite mobile games, featuring multiple game titles, taking place in 3 regions and offering 2 levels of competition. There's something here for everyone. ESL Mobile Open is the gateway to competitive play. Free to join and open to any resident of our supported regions. This is the best way for you to enjoy the thrill of victory and take your shot at winning cash prizes. Each season of Mobile Open will consist of 2 ladders, and the top competitors from each will qualify for the Mobile Open play-ins. ESL Mobile Challenge is your path to glory. If you are a top competitor in the Mobile Open play-ins, you will earn a spot in the Mobile Challenge season. The top team from each ladder will skip the play-ins and qualify directly for the Mobile Challenge season. This is where you'll have the chance to compete against the best players in your region. At the end of each season, top Mobile Challenge players will compete in the Mobile Challenge Finals to determine a winner and be crowned their region's champion. ESL Mobile is for everyone. This is your opportunity to join a diverse and growing community of players across the world and see just how far you can go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the ESL Mobile Open. I'm Inverum, joined by Glitter. As we rolling up to the end of our first recap show here for week number 1 for the spring 2021 season. Can you believe it, Glitter? Already over the course of today, we have seen some top tier plays from a ton of different games.
Yeah, it's been a good time so far. The time has flown by, and I honestly don't know how we're already at the end of it. I'm almost already ready for the next episode.
Seriously, I mean, let's get the gameplay going. Come on, back to the ladders, ladies and gents. I need more clips to get hyped over, but we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit. We're not quite done yet. We still have to talk about PUBG Mobile, which is obviously something that we know pretty darn well. We just wrapped up the PUBG Mobile Pro League, which is kind of fitting because some of those teams and players, Glitter, especially if we take a look at our leaderboard, they're getting involved here as well.
Which is probably one of my most favorite things to see. I mean, we're going to be taking a look here at the leaderboard, but for the format, this is a cup system. There's going to be 3 play days a week, and then each day these teams will be randomly rolled into a group, and they'll play 5 games against each other for that day. So I like the variety. I like that it's keeping these teams on their toes. They're constantly playing against each other, and it's probably going to continue to get even more interesting than what we can see here already on this first page, because Paul, first week, and we already have a tie for 3rd place. These games are so close.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, you get a decent number of points in playing these games too. So the fact that we're having teams that are already tied shows just how pitched these battles truly are. And I get a lot of names to recognize, like E-Storm and Colty BGBG. I mean, Chivas as well, V2, Pro Era, of course, in there as well. A lot of teams with a lot of well-known players, but also some squads as we continue to take a look at the leaderboard. A lot of up-and-comers as well. And we've had over 300 teams play in this last week of competition. So many new squads joining us here for PUBG Mobile. It's really cool to see, Glitter.
That's insane. That's an insane number. So shout out to everybody who has joined the ESL Mobile Open and signed up to play some PUBG Mobile with us. But there's more ties, Paul. We've got 8th place and 14th place in ties as well. These teams, they came to play.
Can you guys chill out a little bit? That's the first week. It's the first week, team. Look, I know this is a 4-week ladder. I know that we're all, grinding for those points, but calm down, everybody. All right, my heart can't take it. We're only in the I can't have too many crazy play. Why am I setting myself up to fail? Because Hot Jukes is gonna show us crazy plays. The one and only Hot Jukes is here. He is our expert game correspondent for PUBG Mobile. And who better than someone who's competed in the program themselves? Glitter, obviously somebody that we know well, and we know his hype is infectious. So I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna send it over to Hot Jukes to break down the play from week number 1.
Thank you so much, Inverum and Glitter Explosion. Oh man, has it been a long time since we've worked on a project together, huh? Well, I'll tell you what, I'm so hyped to be working on this one with you guys because in my eyes, the ESL Mobile Open is by far the best place for any new player that is looking to dip their toes in competitive PUBG Mobile. And the first week is in the books, 2 days of gameplay. And in those 2 days, had over 300 squads play in this tournament. That's absolute insanity. So I'm gonna be honest, trying to go ahead and pick the teams to look at was ridiculously difficult. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys, you know, what teams stood out to me and everything that I think that was really worth mentioning in week 1 here of this tournament. Now we're gonna jump straight into Aaron Gale, game number 1, group 7. We saw Star rush this building as a team. That's what I really want to see here in the ESL Mobile Open. People get that synergy for future stages, and you can see them clear out this squad really easily. And now that really had me a lot of confidence, you know, going into this fight. I was like, all right, they should have this. It should be a walk in the park. But you can see a little bit of the panic, I think, coming out from the squad, because look, they get one knocked. That Molotov could have really spelt disaster. Lucky was right off the mark, but that nade from T1D13 was clutch, and this started to get really sticky. You can see him, Karma, lose a 1v1 there, get thirsted. That's a point that was required, and then they're gonna have to just rush this building up and try to take out Star. But at the end of the day, you see Star split up 2 on each side, and they just could not handle the pressure. They're gonna win this match with a ton of kills. That M249 coming in the end as well. A great game for that team. Next up, we're gonna go on over to Sandhawk, baby, and we can see TT Biru just holding these angles while we see players get eliminated like crazy. I love to see hot drops here at this high level, and we're just seeing trades go back and forth like you wouldn't believe. Fate from across the way with that red dot getting a nice shot onto Slash. He's gonna keep on moving around, and TT, they're playing pretty split up here, but this is that final zone. That final zone towards boot camp is just so difficult, and you can see them just slowly work a little by little their way in while Papa Blue does all the work for them. And here's the problem though, Viru, TT, they got caught out, and at the end of the day, we saw a great finish there from that squad. Next, we're gonna go over to game number 5 in group 2, and we can see here in Miramar, Suki's gonna open things up with that 6XM4, get some nice finishes for his team. This squad already had 15 kills. That knock is gonna stop, it's pretty much set back the team a little bit. I would have loved to see them just kind of group up together and just reset. Instead though, Moonsei realizes, you know what? We got them against the ropes. We gotta try to make some plays. And at the same time though, this is what happens when you go in one at a time, you're gonna get into some trouble. At the end of the day, that allowed them to get a little bit more time under their belt and be able to finish the match strong. So still a great finish, a ton of kills from the squad. Now we head on over back into Arigale, group 2, game number 4. We see BW crushing it, Snake play at its finest. They already got 14 kills right there. You see that ghillie suit coming into play. And this one got a little tricky because at the end of the day, Snake play is so tough when it comes to those end zones. You got to be able to get those spots and hit those shots. Now, BW is pretty split up here, and it looks like they have it in the bag. You're going to see one of their players get knocked, and that's going to be Xenoth, that player we just saw in the ghillie suit. Ghillie suit not coming out strong enough there, but we saw his team be able to get that finish right in return, and that's what happens. The second you shoot, it gives away your position, and you know the rest of the squad's going to come gunning for you. So now they're a 3-man, and now they're just looking for that last player. 15 kills, a really strong finish here. And now you just see them just taking their time, and they're going to clean this one up easily. Did I mention it was going to be with the buggy? What a finish. Now we go over to Miramar, Group 9, Game 5, and we can see it off the bat. Sweet Fang just getting into really big action, switching guns here, right out in the open, the jump shot. So beautiful, 11 kills to their name, and he able to get that dive just in time to be able to avoid those shots, pick up his teammate here, and now it's all up to him to go up against Team 20 here. And you can see Angry Q with his teammate slowly starting to crest this hill. They're trying to take their time. They want this chicken dinner really bad. Only 4 alive. It's a clean 2v2, and you can see him peek right there in the open. Sweet Fang though with the beautiful wide out in the open turn. 1 HP, is able to survive, and Angry is so out of position he can't help his teammate. And now they know exactly where he is, not able to get the spot. They're just gonna go ahead and press in side by side, but guess what? Got a little too cocky. A little too cocky. Sweet Fang goes down after that one, and now it is looking like a 1v1. Not said, you know what? I don't want this to be a 1v1. Let me just go ahead and get this reset, revive. That Molotov coming way too close. 12 kills. Here comes Angry. Why on the open? Here he goes going for the press. He has to give up on the revive. Goes for the CQC. The Tommy gun, not good enough. A beautiful play and a great finish from the squad. These were the matches that really stood out to me. So having said that, let me go ahead and show you guys some of the teams, the real ones that really, I think, set themselves apart from the rest. So I gotta be honest with you, it is tough to decide which teams to highlight because like I mentioned, there's over 300 squads that have played here in the ESL Mobile Open for PUBG Mobile North America. Regardless, I'm gonna go ahead and show the teams to me that really stood out above the rest. And I'm gonna start off with Los Infiltrados. This is a squad that just came out straight out of the gate swinging, and they were swinging hard because on the first day of matches, on Monday, April the 12th, Los Infiltrados from Group 1 took first place overall in their group with 107 points. Straight crushed it. Right here, we see them take a very early 4v4 fight against Team Tomalitos, who finished in 10th with 29 points. For me, it's no surprise at all to see the first place team go for that early aggression right off the bat. The willingness to be able to get into those early fights and get those kills is a sign of a winning team in my eyes. And for me, it really shows that this is a squad that has it right here. And these guys don't let off the pedal at all. They play aggressive throughout the whole match, and it really shows well right here in the late game. Right here, you can just see the amount of spacing and control they're holding, both on the south and the north side. This allows them to clean out that last zone with ease. And the crazy part is that even before this point, they already got 14 kills. So they just straight crushed it. Now, the next team I want to talk about is going to be Level X. And the reason why is because this is a team that we saw compete in the PUBG Mobile Pro League. So for any of the people out there that really want to play against a PMPL squad, this is your opportunity. Now, on the first day, they straight crushed it with 105 points. They took first place in their group, which was Group 3. And, you know, both them and Los Infiltrados have excellent late game circle control, but the big difference here is you can see how the PMPL team takes things much slower and controlled using nades and smokes for a slow burning win. Now here's the thing though, even though they are a PMPL team, that doesn't mean that they're up to par with some of these squads that are coming in hot. Because on the overall leaderboards, Level X are currently in 39th place. So on the first day of ESL Mobile Open matches, they had a great day. On their second day, they did not do so well. So for me, it's gonna be really interesting to see how Level X proceeds here in the rest of the ESL Mobile Open. Shifting gears, we're gonna go ahead and talk about the team that is currently sitting in 8th place on the overall leaderboards, and that is going to be none other than Chronic. On their first day of matches, they ended up in first place in their group with 102 total points. That was a great performance for them, and what really stood out to me was their ability to navigate through this chaotic ending in this match right here. Because these urban combat areas can be very difficult to navigate through. You never know when there's going to be a player hiding behind a corner, behind a wall. So many different nooks and crannies you can hide, but they showed great awareness and ability to be able to navigate through that and absolutely crush that chicken dinner. So a great game for them and a great start. They're in 8th place overall, but this is a team I'm gonna definitely keep my eye on here as the weeks go on. We go over to Miramar. Here you can see none other than the hit list coming up big. Jat putting on some work downfield, getting it done. And you can just see them standing up straight, just having their way with the lobby. All these other teams are forced to just lay down and do whatever they can, but it ain't gonna be enough because this squad came in big. Krish up front and personal. Gonna go ahead and look over this hill, try to get some sight lines, throw in some smokes just to cover his angle there on the side. Beautifully executed. Sees Dodger and absolutely wipes the floor with them. And this is something that always happens in competitive. You always got to flick on a motorcycle. It's an absolute must. It's a requirement, right? So after that, he's going to keep looking around, trying to, you see that shimmy, that open run side to side straight. That's something I always want to see from a top player here in the ESL Mobile Open. And right there, Thor gonna finish it off, and that's a massive win. 20 kills for the hit list. Now the last squad I'm gonna be talking about is gonna be none other than Astralis Inferno. That's because on the first day of matches, they ended up with more total points than anybody else. That's right, 120 points they earned in just one day of matches. That's a great performance. Now, on the overall leaderboards, they're currently sitting in 16th place. That's because on their second day of matches, they were only able to get 61 points, regardless, when I see a squad that really comes out the gate that strong, you're gonna get my attention, and I'm gonna start putting some expectations on you. So even though they had a tough day 2 performance, in day number 1, they still hit it big. And something that really stood out was their player Lemonade hitting this spot right here. Now, I've only seen a handful of professional players be able to utilize this spot in competitive. As a matter, and I'm talking about a handful, I've seen on only maybe 2 or 3. This is going to be a really big shining light to see spots that are so rarely used coming from a player here in the ESL Mobile Open that I have never heard of. Astralis Inferno, Lemonade, I'm going to keep a close eye on you guys, and I want to see how you do for the rest of the tournament. So boom, that is going to be it for my recap here for week number 1. And again, for anybody that is watching this, if you're not playing in this tournament, do it. Get your friends, get signed up, and you may see you and your squad show up in next week's recap. So that's it for now. I'm gonna go ahead and send it to you guys back in the studio.
Well, you heard it there. Hot Jukes already with expectations for our players. Let's see if they can live up to them, or if some of these young guns may come up and continue to put on some performances. Because Glitter, I mean, I say this when I'm watching PUBG Mobile, and I was saying it during the break. I forget these players are playing on phones. The movement, the way they snap, the spray control is so impressive.
Yeah, it really is. And that's why we're going to keep reminding you guys. I mean, the skill level in these games is insane. So if you are trying to become semi-pro, amateur, whatever your level is, if you're just trying to get better at PUBG Mobile, you should be joining in and playing these games with us, because how many team names did we see in there, Paul, that we recognize from PMPL? So if you guys are wondering how to play against those pro level teams, this is how you do it. You just have to get into these games, and you will eventually be put up against them and be able to see, you know, can you hang?
That's it. Exclamation point, sign up. Get all the details, because Glitter is absolutely right. The expression is that iron sharpens iron. You get better when you play against good players. And we definitely have some pretty solid ones here, and opportunities for you to improve and get better week over week. And, you know, I have to ask, though, Glitter, because, you know, we talk about PUBG Mobile. It's the last game here at the end, but we had a lot of really cool moments over the course of the show. Do you have any that really sort of stood out to you here for week number 1?
Ooh, okay, that's tough. But I think my top 2, I've got 2, I think. So my top 2 are going to be the side-by-side for Asphalt, because I feel like I am going to just fall in love with that type of an analysis, so I can see just exactly what these players are doing. But then also, PUBG Mobile always will hold a special place in my heart. But the buggy kill for the win by BW at the end of that game, come on. I mean, really?
We don't see a lot of those in general. And to get a chicken dinner like it, it's like hot and fast. Sir, your Uber is here, and we have your food with you. There it is. I mean, look, let's be honest. A lot of us have been getting food delivered the last year. No, my favorite moments. I think I have to give some love. I think I have to give some love to some of our new games here in the Mobile Open. Some of those Brawl Stars plays, like the coming out of spawn, grabbing the ball, immediately rushing past the last remaining defender to score when they were the least expecting it. Those kind of surprise moments really stand out. And then I think just sort of the general overall first day of play here for Clash Royale. Because again, I've casted the highest tier of professional Clash Royale, and to see players who are, again, be them Smurfs or not, seeing already this high level of play in the competition is just making me really, really excited. So more of a general thing. But yeah, that Brawl Stars play. I'm excited to see more Brawl Stars. Maybe I'm kind of biased, but no, today was absolutely sick, and it's only our first week. 8 weeks of competition over the course of the ESL Mobile program. And again, exclamation point sign up and exclamation point social to make sure that you all stay up to date with what we're doing here. Don't miss the broadcasts from doing this every single week here on Monday at 4:30 p.m. Pacific. So make sure you're also following, whether it be YouTube, Twitch, all that good stuff, so that you don't miss the broadcasts. But hey, that's just the first week in the books. It's been an absolute pleasure to join you all here. I'm Inverum, that's Glitter Explosion, and we'll see you next week. Have a good night.
Feel the lights, see the stage, hear the vibe. Pumped up to get ready for the fight. Big dreams, one chance, be the star. I'm the winner coming out of the
as a motivator. Let them know that the weight's up. That's how we know when we level up. Ay, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up.
Back against the wall, still I'm standing tall. Know about the ball, I got my fan with me. All we know is ball to empty out the mouths. The chosen one they call, I take my fan with me. Know about it if you tell, know you're breaking codes. What your credibility and all fall like dominoes. Can you really take a stance? All I wanna know. Need me real ones when it's time to go. Stepping in, elevator, listen to all the haters. That's all we know when we level up. Yeah, that's all we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up. I found out I'm not alone, 'cause I'm just like you. There's no failing when we fight. We're not afraid to. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up. Feel the light, see the stage, hear the vibe. Pumped up to get ready for the fight. Big dreams, one chance, be the star. I'm the winner coming out of the dark. No fear, getting ready for the ride. Yeah, stepping into the light. No limit, aim high. No limit, the price is mine.
Step out as a motivator. Let them know that the weight's up. That's how we know when we level up. Ay, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up.
Back against the wall, still I'm standing tall. Know about the ball, I got my fan with me. All we know is ball to empty out the mouths. The chosen one they call, I take my fan with me. Know about it if you tell, know you're breaking codes. What your credibility and all fall like dominoes. Can you really take a stance? All I wanna know. Need me real ones when it's time to go. Stepping in, elevator, listen to all the haters. That's all we know when we level up. Yeah, that's all we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up. I found out I'm not alone, 'cause I'm just like you. There's no failing when we fight. We're not afraid to. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up. Feel the light, see the stage, hear the vibe. Pumped up to get ready for the fight. Big dreams, one chance, be the star. I'm the winner coming out of the dark. No fear, getting ready for the ride. Yeah, stepping into the light. No limit, aim high. No limit, the price is mine.
Step out as a motivator. Let them know that the weight's up. That's how we know when we level up. Ay, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up.
Back against the wall, still I'm standing tall. Know about the ball, I got my fan with me. All we know is ball to empty out the mouths. The chosen one they call, I take my fan with me. Know about it if you tell, know you're breaking codes. What your credibility and all fall like dominoes. Can you really take a stance? All I wanna know. Need me real ones when it's time to go. Stepping in, elevator. This is to all the haters. That's all we know when we level up. Yeah, that's all we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up. I found out I'm not alone, 'cause I'm just like you. There's no failing when we fight. We're not afraid to. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up. Feel the lights, see the stage, hear the vibe. Pumped up to get ready for the fight. Big dreams, one chance, be the star. I'm the winner coming out of the dark. No fear, getting ready for the ride. Yeah, stepping into the light. No limit, aim high. No limit, the price is mine.
Step out as a motivator. Let them know that the wait's up. That's how we know when we level up. Ay, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up.
Back against the wall, still I'm standing tall. Know about the ball, I got my fan with me. All we know is ball to empty out the mouths. The chosen one they call, I take my fan with me. Know about it if you tell, know you're breaking codes. What your credibility and all fall like dominoes. Can you really take a stance? All I wanna know. Need me real ones when it's time to go. Stepping in, elevator. This is to all the haters. That's all we know when we level up. Yeah, that's all we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up. I found out I'm not alone, 'cause I'm just like you. There's no failing when we fight. We're not afraid to. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up. Feel the lights, see the stage, hear the vibe. Pumped up to get ready for the fight. Big dreams, one chance, be the star. I'm the winner coming out of the dark. No fear, getting ready for the ride. Yeah, stepping into the light. No limit, aim high. No limit, the price is mine.
Step out as a motivator. Let them know that the wait's up. That's how we know when we level up. Ay, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up.
Back against the wall, still I'm standing tall. Know about the ball, I got my fan with me. All we know is ball to empty out the mouth. The chosen one they call, I take my fan with me. Know about it if you tell, know you're breaking codes. But your credibility and all fall like dominoes. Can you really take a stance? All I wanna know. Need me real ones when it's time to go. Stepping in, elevator, listen to all the haters. That's all we know when we level up. Yeah, that's all we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up. I found out I'm not alone, 'cause I'm just like you. There's no failing when we fight. We're not afraid to. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up.